Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and... My apologies. Live from the Pantsraad with speaker Zinthar tonight. Tonight our discussion will be based upon whether or not pants be mandatory inside of the Pantsraad, especially since currently they are not, which is unfortunate. I will now turn over to the representatives of the Pantsraad, Mr. Stuka.
Honorable Speaker. Am I to argue my point?
Sorry about that. Yes, please, your opening statement.
I feel that as the honorable body of the Pantsraad, we should do what it says on the tin and bloody good well wear pants. I can see my time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Honorable Kaiju Fro, would you please, your opening statements?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and honorable members of the Pantsraad. Pants are prisons. They hold in the meat tubes that we all walk around on. They hold in the smells that we create in just our daily lives. They are terrible, terrible inventions created by masochists to keep our legs pale and overly hot. I move that we do not require pants in the Pantsraad because we need to be comfortable to do the business of government. And there's nothing more comfortable than taking off your pants. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. Sire of Sons, your opening statements, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It is my belief that requiring pants within the Pantsraad could be highly detrimental to all members of the Pantsraad, particularly those associated with BPL. I would state that there is some confusion as to the exact definition of what pants are and what the Pantsraad is. Without defining these things, requiring pants could lead easily to a great abuse of power, as once the requirement is put in place, then the definitions will need to be written.
Hear, hear.
And I yield the rest of my time for opening statements.
Well, thank you so much, Sire of Sons. Very, very good points all round. I believe it should be noted that we are not debating what pants are at this stage. That can come later. We are merely trying to determine if they are mandatory within the floor. As I believe there may have been some confusion about what are pants in the past. We need to establish first that we must wear pants on the floor here, which is what we are debating today. I'll open it up for rebuttals to opening statements if anyone has further arguments or points that they wish to argue.
I would like to make a point about Kaiju's statement.
The speaker recognizes Hesman Stuka.
So you stated that pants equals penis prison. Now, many legionnaires have problems with this. I would move to wear more comfortable pants. I remove my statement.
Mr. Speaker, may I have the floor?
The speaker recognizes Kaiju Fro.
Yes, I did not say penis prisons. They are merely prisons for all of our nethers, whether they're male or female. The issue is not so much the prisony nature of them when it comes to our own bodies, but I think it has more to do with the fact that wearing these pants collects all the sweat and all the things that gather on your body that would normally be taken away by the air. And really, if we think about it, the only reason people stink is because they wear pants. We should outlaw them completely. But in terms of when we're doing the business of government, we shouldn't have to worry about sweaty ass cracks on our pants while we're doing the business of government of this great assembly. I yield the rest of my time.
Honorable Zinthar, I have a rebuttal, if you would allow me.
The speaker recognizes Headman Stuka.
Would not the removal of pants and the actual exposure of the undergitch, or commando, as it were, of the open and exposed meat tubes, would not the stink be greater, for it is not restrained?
Mr. Speaker, may I respond?
The speaker recognizes Kaiju Fro.
Yes, the stink only exists because of the sweaty situation that's caused by wearing the pants in the first place. If we were all allowed to breathe freely and open in the air, no stink would ever come. Do you get underarm sweat that really, really stinks if you're not wearing a shirt? No. The same goes for pants.
The speaker would like to
yield
point
the rest.
out that there is also the hygiene issue that must be addressed with this. People sitting bare-skinned on the chairs. Please.
That is a matter for them and their chairs.
We're
But I
going
see
through
your
so
point.
much disinfectant that we're going to have to bankrupt the Pantsraad at this rate.
Well, we can just spread goob around and sit on that.
Ah, yes, finally something people can spend their goob on.
Yes, yes. Goob to protect the asses from the chairs, or vice versa.
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear. Yes, indeed.
Indeed.
I yield the rest of my time.
Honorable Speaker, may I take the floor?
The speaker recognizes Sire of Sons.
So, there are some additional reasons as to why I believe that pants should not be mandatory within the Pantsraad. There are several points that I have written down. First of all, not everyone that can participate in the Pantsraad has equal access to pants.
Hear, hear.
Therefore, requiring pants would restrict access and representation within the Pantsraad. This would go completely against the idea of the Pantsraad, where we want people to be represented. I believe it was my team in the previous meeting of the Pantsraad that pushed to give a voice to the people, so this is a very important point for me. Second, there are lifestyles that demand a strict adherence to a no pants at home policy. Requiring pants would oppress these minority religious groups.
Hear,
Third,
hear.
requiring pants would inevitably lead to requiring surveillance or observation of the wearing of the pants, which could, of course, lead to a surveillance state, and no one wants to see the members of the BPL in their homes or at all.
Not
Hear,
even
hear.
us.
I am open to questions.
Yes, it is true. No one wants to look at us.
Why would they?
A fair point. Well made.
We don't wear pants.
Do we have a rebuttal?
Does my opposition have any questions for me?
Mr. Speaker, if I may.
Speaker recognizes Hesman Stuka.
You make many valuable arguments, but I would urge you to consider this hand eggplant.
Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr. Speaker. Please, may I have the floor?
The speaker recognizes Kaiju Fro.
I see your hand eggplant, and I raise you a pantsless hand eggplant. I yield the rest of my time.
And
How
eggplants
dare
open
you.
on the floor of the Pantsraad. Quite objectionable.
Please excuse our outbursts, Honorable Zinthar.
They will be excused at this time, but you are all on notice.
This is what happens when sentences start before we know where they're going.
Honorable Speaker Zinthar, may I have the floor?
The speaker recognizes Sire of Sons.
I would ask my fellow member of the Pantsraad, Headsman Stuka, is it not true that 3 days ago you were seen exiting the offices of the CEO of the Pants Company?
Honorable Zinther, may I make a rebuttal?
The speaker recognizes Headsman Stuka. I would encourage it.
Do you have photographic evidence of such an act being committed by me? I live nowhere near the Pants Company, sir. This is defamation at worst.
The evidence that one's presented to me is not in my possession at this time, so I cannot present it. However, I would ask then that you account for where were you 3 days ago then, if not in the offices of the Pants Company talking to the CEO there.
I was driving a forklift.
A
Order,
likely
order,
story.
order. The speaker would like to ask if Stuka is indeed forklift certified.
I am indeed forklift certified, Honorable Zinthar.
Very good. We take this as on notice and would suggest that anyone who is forklift certified may have business within the Pants CEO's office, or around the building at least.
Mr. Speaker, may I have the floor? Point of personal privilege.
The speaker recognizes Kaiju Fro.
If you look at me 3 days ago, you know what you see? Someone who's not wearing pants. I walk the walk and I talk the talk. No pants in the Pantsraad. That's what we got to do. We need freedom. Freedom from these pants prisons on our meat tubes. Freedom from the oligarchy of the clothing industry, of the pants people and the shirt people, and then there's the people that live in the Commonwealth nations where pants means underwear, but not like trousers. It's all just haphazard. We just need to have no coverings at all. Humankind didn't even invent pants until a couple centuries ago. Before that, everyone wore skirts, and it was beautiful. We all were open to the sun, wind flowing through our nether regions, and the stink was obviously not that bad, or else we would hear more of it in history books. I yield the rest of my time.
Mr. Speaker,
The speaker recognizes Sire of Sons.
I move that we vote on the issue at hand.
Second.
This is awful fast.
Yes, I believe we should move to closing statements first, with justifications as to for and against. We will start with Sire of Sons then.
Well, as I have mentioned, there are many people who could be hurt by requiring pants within the Pantsraad. I believe that there is some cause for potential suspicion as to conflict of interest in the pro team, but it is debatable, I will admit that. Still, however, I believe that requiring pants, especially without definitions, could lead to potential abuses and oppression. I end my closing statements.
Thank you. Headsman Stuka, your closing statement, please.
I believe that we, as the Pantsraad, with the esteemed rabble in the audience watching us, we need to be honest and true with ourselves. There are those of us who are in fact not wearing pants right now. There are those of us who are. We are arguing for different things. And whether or not I have a deal with the Pants Company is beyond for I am not wearing pants right now. I am giving my impartial judgment that we should remain the Pantsraad, and not the pantsless rat. Thank you.
Hear, hear. Well spoken. Kaiju, your closing statement, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members of the Pantsraad, ladies and gentlemen of the gallery. Let me say this. I want you to picture to yourself right now what you're going to do for the rest of the day. You're done listening to these debates or taking part in it as we are, and you're going to go home and you're going to go in your house and you're going to want to relax. And what's the first thing you do when you relax? You take off your pants. Now, here, doing the business of government in the Pantsraad, we need to be able to talk about the issues. We need to be able to understand what is going on, because obviously we don't most of the time. And we need to actually focus on the business of government that is so very important so that we can bring our brand of idiocy to the internet. In order to do that, we need to be comfortable. We can't be thinking of things like, did I just stain my pants? No, we need to be pantsless so that we are not focused on our pants and not focused on the business of government. And furthermore, I'd like to say that if later this evening, when you're at home, say you decide to have something to eat, perhaps a hot dog, and if you're eating that hot dog with mustard and that mustard drips, and it drips on your leg, ask yourself, if I were wearing pants right now, would these pants now be ruined? Because if you're not wearing pants, all you do, wipe that shit up. And that's awesome. I yield the rest of the time.
Again, well articulated. At the moment, for those of us in the gallery, I have put up a poll for whether or not pants be mandatory, yes or no. This is so that the gallery will have their singular vote into whether or
Hear,
not it
hear.
will be mandatory or not. Whilst that is going on, I will begin a small closing statement from the speaker, as this does affect all who attend the Pantsraad, and especially me, who has to look at you all.
I'm so sorry.
Gentlemen, whether or not pants are mandatory in the Pantsraad is a valuable discussion that we need to have. From the hygiene concerns that have been brought up here to the smell and general, what's the word I'm looking for here? Decency concerns that have been brought up. We need to consider this very carefully. I don't want us to rush into any quick vote without due consideration being given. I think that whilst pants are not necessary, they are mandatory here, as you would not turn up to your grandma's house pantsless.
I don't know my grandma.
I wouldn't turn up to my grandma's house pantsless. That's a quick way to get gnome food ever again.
Not when you go to No Pants Grandma's house.
Order, I don't want to know about no
Let
pants
the
grandma.
speaker
Mr. Speaker,
The speaker recognizes Sire of Sons.
it appears as though we may have reached a verdict from the audience.
Yes, we're going to go with no. The audience has voted for no on the pants be mandatory. So that is so far one vote for no. As such, I will now open it to voting. For all members present, are pants mandatory, yay or nay? Headsman Snooker. Order.
Me first?
Yes.
Nay.
Kaiju Fro.
I vote in the nay. Because I like wearing shorts too. And skirts.
Hear, hear.
Sire of Sons.
You know, after hearing your eloquent speech, Mr. Speaker, I believe I have to vote Aye.
Thank you for your time. However, since I do not get a vote and the audience has voted no, that puts it to 3 for no, 1 for yes.
Here.
Pants are not mandatory in the Pantsraad. You may continue the debauchery that I have to witness every day.
Oh, congratulations, everyone. You did so good.
Here, here.
Here. Government working for you.
Indeed, the consensus and the decision makers are the people who are present. As such, this cannot be overturned, but it can be loopholed. It can also have various other things. Perhaps next time we need to debate whether or not everyone gets a towel to sit on, or daintily cover themselves with.
A goob towel. A
Mr.
goob
Speaker,
shaped
we have
towel.
defined what pants are, only that they are not required in the Pantsraad.
Indeed, we will have to revisit what pants are at a later date, as we know what could be considered pants or not, and whether or not we can make something else mandatory could also be a thing.
Heck yeah.
Lots.
Well,
Mr.
Honor,
Speaker,
the Speaker recognizes Sire of Sons.
I move that we begin procedure for adjournment of the Pantsraad.
Indeed.
Here. Seconded.
Third.
Very good. With that, then, I will adjourn the Pantsraad. Later on, we will also have to have an internal vote about the new Speaker of the House, as my tenure is coming to a close. I would like to thank everyone in Twitchland for coming and saying hello and voting upon this very important issue. I would like to thank each member who has turned up today to discuss this important subject, and I wish them all well in the future. I may return at some point as a debater of the next issue that comes up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Huzzah.
And thank you for your service.
We appreciate it. You've been great.
Thank
A
you all
round
very
of
much.
virtual applause for our great and honorable speaker.
Clap, clap, clap.
Very good. All right. Thank you all so much for coming. Till next time. Good
Chaos
night.
reigns.